morning. It's my day off and I'm gonna run some errands today and take you guys along. Right now, all of my apps are updating, so if I wanted to make a video, I have to do it with my camera app, which is so old school, no beauty filter. So we're just gonna get ready with the regular app. This is my everyday makeup routine. I usually just put moisturizer on first and then a little bit of concealer under the eye, around here, and then over the eyes, because that is where most discoloration and redness show for a lot of people, especially on the eyelids where the skin is super thin. You can just see a lot more discoloration and veins. You can't see concealer because I have hooded eyes, which is always a magic trick. I also have a lot of freckles going on from the summertime, but I like my freckles, so we're gonna keep them out. Next, for a little bit of tan, I'm just gonna put up some concealer in contour in some key spots. The point of concealer and foundation is to take away color in places that you might not necessarily want, such as redness around the nose, and that way you can apply the color back onto your face, like all of this, and you have a little bit more control over where the color goes on your skin. For example, I have a lot of redness around here, again, like I said, and when I put blush on, I like to have my blush start here and go out, and if I have a redness around here, it usually draws the blush inwards. So I like to tone it down a little bit in order to have better control over my blush placement. All right, we're basically done with my cream base. So I'm gonna set everything with setting spray, and then we'll go in with some powders. I like this setting spray for everyday use because it adds a little bit of glow. But when I use setting spray on clients, I use the former Urban Decay Up All Night, and now it's Scandinavia because we're trying to stick with the original formula. For those of you who haven't heard, the formula changed with Urban Decay, but Scandinavia is the original owner / creator, and they still offer it. While that dries, I'm gonna go in with my eyebrow pencil just to define, because I have thin, light eyebrows. Well, what I would consider thin, light eyebrows. And then once I'm happy with the shape of where my eyebrows are filled in, I just go in with a little bit of clear brow gel. Okay, once my setting spray is dry, I'm gonna go over my contour with some bronzer for more of like a summertime look. If I feel like I'm a little too shiny in some places, I'll go in with a light powder to set it all off. I love blush, so we're gonna go with a little bit of blush and eyes. I have hooded eyes. I usually try to just keep the eyeliner on the outside to sort of draw it up a little bit. They call this a wedge eyeliner in school, makeup school. When you just kind of create a little wedge on the outside. Wow, those are not even. Instead of trying to draw the eye outward, it's just like halfway. So that's my go-to for everyday stuff. Before I go in with my mascara, this is like my favorite thing right now. It's a tiny little MAC shimmer eyeshadow, and I usually just like to put it right on the corner of my eye for a little bit of brightening, but this is also a really good shade, so I put it under my brow bone like my mom taught me to do when I was 12. And then a little bit on my cheeks, kind of like a highlight. I think it ties the whole look together. Oh, just kidding. It's a little bit pink, so don't really go for it too hard. Whoops. Feeling pretty good about that, so we can go in with mascara, which is the last step. And I'm just using this tiny little Clinique that I got on vacation last year, but it's a tubing mascara, which I like because I think it comes off much easier than waterproof mascara, but I need something that has lasting power because my eyelashes point straight down and the oils on my skin will sometimes smudge waterproof eyeliner, which is so frustrating because it comes off with like oils and makeup removers rather than water. So I like the tubing mascara instead because if it comes off, which it doesn't, it would come off in like a tiny little clump that you could just wipe away rather than a dark raccoon smudge. So that's my life hack for all of my brides when I'm doing makeup. That is basically my go-to. And the only thing left that I have to do is lip. And I'm usually a chapstick person. So it depends on how much I feel like my lips are blending in with my face. But yeah, that's my daily makeup routine. And now I'm ready to go run some errands in the big wide city.